It's closed. Well, I guess if I was looking for a traditional Christmas service, then my hopes have been dashed. Because we're locked down, we're isolated, left out. We're in the new normal. Along with the classic, "You're on mute," have to be the themes and phrases of 2020. Not what any of us had hoped for. Hope's a funny word. We might hope for good weather in Scotland, I know. We might hope to win some sort of national competition. We might hope that a sick friend or family member gets well soon. Or we might hope that we're all keeping safe during COVID-19. Now, some of these hopes might be realised, but actually when we use the word hope, we're probably given a disclaimer that means it's not guaranteed, but it's something that we strongly desire. The characters in whose story that we come to church every Christmas to hear would resonate to some degree with our feelings of isolation and being locked out, but they'd struggle with our very depressing concept of hope. In the Bible, hope is exactly the opposite. It points to a promise that you can absolutely, literally stake your life on. When God wanted to guarantee his promises, he gave his word, a rock-solid guarantee. God can't break his word, and because his word cannot change, the promise is likewise unchangeable. We who have run for our very lives to God have every reason to grab the promised hope with both hands and never let go. It's an unbreakable spiritual lifeline, reaching past all appearances, right to the very presence of God, where Jesus, running on ahead of us, has taken up his permanent post as high priest for us. If you've been to even one nativity or carol service in your lifetime, then you'll have heard that in Jesus' birth, God was already delivering on his promises. Jesus is God's word. Now fast forward to Easter, and Jesus' death and resurrection propel us from being members of an audience to an ancient telling of a story with a little baby at its heart, to being actually part of the main cast. God always keeps his promises. He has, he is, he will. That's a rock-solid guarantee that you can pin real hope on. Run for your lives is maybe also an impulse that we've often felt during this last strange, most unusual and disruptive of years. If only we could, right? Well, we can. But the cry is run for, not from. Run for your lives to God. So whether it's an in-person carol service or online, whether it's a big family gathering to celebrate Christmas or a limited bubble, Christmas is unchanged. God's promise is unchangeable, and our hope is neither deferred nor dashed. It's as sure and certain as ever. This Christmas, whether you take a fresh or even a first look at God's promises, God's story, and your place in it, might this be the defining moment of your extraordinary 2020, the time when you decide to put down anchor for your soul, to take hold of this promised hope with both hands and run for your life to Jesus, Emmanuel, God with us.